Welcome back to the series where I show how a real-world client project was built with WordPress and BuddyPress APIs, PHP, ES6 JavaScript, and jQuery. This is the first of two videos where I show and analyze the advanced item filtering system on the members index page. Let's check it out. All right, so we are back at the member index page. In the last video of this series, we checked out these base filters, how they function, availability, etc. And on this one, we are going to take a deeper dive to check out the advanced filters by clicking here. This takes us to a modal filled with the sports choices, and something to mention here that all these sporting events are actually coming from the database via Ajax. We will cover these in much more detail when we analyze the code. For now, let's go choose tennis, and as we can see here, now the picture changed a bit. We see the base filters, just only one missing, the sports, because we've already chosen that, which is showing up here, and these extra filters are popping up according to that specific sports, and which are all in action. This also has reset filter and back to the base filters button. So before we get into the coding, let's take an example from here, golf. Let's choose the handicap and swing hand right, and from the base filters choose female, and as we can see, it narrows it all down, and all these 9 items are connected to each other via a very complex combination formula-based algorithm, which we will look into in much more detail. But for now, let's go to a diagram to explain all the inner workings of this filtering system to get a better idea before we jump into code. All right, so this is the diagram that explains what's happening in the background. Let's start from the very bottom. If this is the index page, these are the athlete items, and this is all coming from a member loop generated by BuddyPress here, and some of the information coming from ACF, which is Advanced Custom Field. Just to give you a reference, let's go back. So if this is the index page, these are the items, and we're talking about these data right here: the residence, the class, year, even the names and their associated sports, and then also the verified information and the committed information. These are actually coming from here, all the athlete users. There are 2 different profiles, one the basic WordPress profile and the other one is the extended profile generated by BuddyPress. So if we go to the regular profile, this is the one, and we come down here, we see the verification and availability information. These are coming from Advanced Custom Field, or ACF. And if we go back to the extended profile of the same user, we find the name here, the sports, and then gender, country of residence, the enrollment year, etc. So all these data are being generated when BuddyPress creates the loop, and inside that loop we have these items, and we collect that information via BuddyPress related functions or ACF related functions. And once we do collect them, we put it in a variable and wrap them around as classes, CSS classes. And once these items are ready with classes, now let's come from the top. Okay, if we look from the top, we see the user hits the advanced filters or other filters button, and then we have that modal being loaded, and the modal information, the list of sports, they are actually coming from a local storage, and where they're being collected via AJAX calls from the database. We have gone through the detail of that in a previous video, but we'll also take a deeper look into this when we check out the code. So once that list is loaded, then client makes their choice from the list. Based on that choice, the advanced filter page comes along, and we see the base filters, and the sport specific filters also show up according to the choice that's made here. For example, if golf is loaded, right here all the golf related filters are also loaded. And when these base filters and the sports filters are clicked, a changed event is launched by the JavaScript. The JavaScript then hands over the information collected from the select choices and hands it over to the algorithm. Algorithm then collects those classes and join them into specific string, and based on that string, it looks up among these athlete items. Basically, let's say if we find golf, handicap, and swing hand, then the algorithm would try to find a combination of these three, make one string, and wherever it finds it, it will take away the display none class out of that item, so that will be visible, and keep display none on the rest of them so that the others will disappear from the list. And that's how the whole advanced filtering system actually works. Now this time around, I have reorganized my code in a very specific manner, which is a significant improvement upon the base filter code that we may have looked at in my previous video. So I have one small diagram to describe that before we get into the code analysis. Let's go take a look at that. Just to quickly show you, this is how I organize my classes and scripts. I followed ES6 object-oriented methodology. I improved upon the base filter structure very significantly in this case. Everything starts out with the main class, which is script.js, where I load all the modules and then instantiate the modules in that class, and all the classes remain in this module folder. And the base classes come from base filters folder, where each select item had their own little classes with their own algorithm, which I had to generate manually. But at that point, I was just dealing with 6 items. But in the advanced in the advanced filters case, I had to deal with up to 9 items, and that's why I had to go use a combination generator website, which you will see later, to generate the combinations. I had 3 different class-based structure and a inheritance pattern, which has a child and parent relationship. The initial one would collect all the items and pass it along to its parent, a helper class that would have the necessary functions that would prepare the data, send it to the algorithm, and algorithm would go ahead and generate search patterns according to the combination given to it. And next we are going to check out all the code and analyze them. That's when we get a much better idea of what I'm talking about. So let's go check that out. Okay, finally we are at the code level. As you can see here, the structure is theme, the theme name, and the BuddyPress folder. And this is where all the customization happen. and under the members folder, the index.php, this is where this whole page is coming from. Okay, so you see the blue bar here, the top blue bar, and the top filter navigation bar, which is pretty much this guy here. And we are going to find this guy here and explain how this modal is happening, and once we choose it, how it lands us in the advanced filter situation. So to find that, let's go, this is our guy, other filters, and this is the ID that JavaScript uses. And now let's go find where this JavaScript is located. So this is where the JavaScript is, under the assets, source, JS. And as we have seen in the diagram previously, this is the script, the main script, where the main class is. We're loading all the modules from this module folder, and inside the constructor we are just instantiating every single one of them. And this is where our advanced filter modules are instantiated. And as the diagram showed, under the module folder, we have athlete advanced filters. These are the base filters, but this guy is the one which is actually launching the modal, and this is the JavaScript that is making it happen. On the next video, we're going to go ahead and explain this JavaScript step by step, how this is actually making us launch this modal like this, and upon a sports choice, landing us in the right place and allowing us to look at the extended filters. Thanks for watching.